guitar and Lucero.
I'm John C. Stubblefield and I play the bass.
How did you guys decide on the name Lucero?
Spanish-English dictionary.
Yeah?
I had a girlfriend that was going to college, and I would just go to the college library, which was a lot nicer than the public library. And she would do homework or whatever she was doing, her stuff, and I would just run through the stacks. And because I was writing zines back then, and I would always just look for words or phrases. And it's always fun to get other languages, Anglo, you know, like, and so I had Lucero because it said in the Spanish-English dictionary, it said follow, or no, it said any bright star. I was like, that's cool, but I wanted another word to have to follow any bright star. I can't remember what that word was, but it sounded terrible. It didn't work. So I ended up booking our first show, and it was kind of like, I guess we're Lucero.
But it is cool in retrospect. I mean, it's like any bright star, but then it's also like a luminescence or light or anything. So
it's easily read into.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
you can make up your own, you know, you can read into it.
The glory of it, you know. It's like Gorilla Biscuits. They call themselves Gorilla Biscuits because they thought it was just a silly name. And it turned out to be a type of acid. And they were a straight edge band, and they were going to change it back. And everybody was like, oh, it's funny. You know, but it's just, it could have been anything. I mean, if you saw the list, it could have been awful.
Yeah, you just go with it. Unlike a lot of bands that you maybe see these days, you guys tour a lot, it seems.
That's how we make our money.
Yeah. And it seems like I see you guys coming through Colorado at least twice a year or something like that.
We try. Colorado, Denver especially, was our first like flashpoint. Oh my God. Double Paul Kane and Double Entendre. I don't know if that record, he's still even doing it. Last time I saw him, he was threatening to quit doing that record store. But he had a show space. In his back of his store where the Locust would play. He was just.
That's just down at the end of Colfax.
I don't even know if it's still there. I heard he just packed up shop and moved away. He got tired of dealing with people. But I put out the Attic tapes. Like I actually was like, I'm gonna start a label while I'm doing this. And I had borrowed some money, pressed up the records, decided to hand screen them all. And I was selling 2 or 3 a day, you know, in Memphis where we're from. And I was trying to get them into these distros, and people would be like, I will take one. But Paul Kane must have just beat the shit out of it. Like I think, because he was ordering like, I need 50. You know, like I would do runs.
He set them up on the front of the record counter, and like everybody that came in was like, you have to get it.
Literally, he force-fed our band. So, like we had this huge, weird cult following where we would play other towns, you know, to 20 people. I think we played to 150 people our first show here in the back of Double Entendre. And then, but it was the thing is, we progressed a lot since that record came out at the time. Like we showed up all electric, drinking, playing basically honky tonk stuff. And that record had that real lo-fi, pretty sound. And I think he thought we were still like that, and we had moved on a little bit. But he pushed it on it, and then everybody just picked it up. So Denver's one of our feel-good cities. Like, if you're ever feeling down, nobody likes you, you know, go to Denver. Yeah. But if you're too full of yourself, you go to Bakersfield. Because that's where they will humble you if they bother to show up. So, but yeah, we've driven from, basically we played Memphis, Kansas City, Denver, and then drove home before. You know what I mean? In the early days. Like we've done some ignorant ass drives just to come here and play places. But so Colorado is.
It was our first second home.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we have, like Louisville became a second home, but Denver was the place that, you just couldn't do anything wrong.
People were great, and the shows were just great, and just really receptive, and it stayed that way and grew.
I mean, that's,
What do you see as your current motivation for going out there and doing this stuff still?
I still enjoy playing, but I also have a new baby, 2 stepdaughters, and a new house. But it's just 2 hours a night on stage. It's art, and you can't take that away from me. You know, I can do whatever I want. It's a blast. Good sound, bad sound. I'm just in the thick of it. But it's I mean, we just finished this new record that we put horns on it. And we tried to do a Memphis soul thing. Like we hadn't had a good focused record in the last 2 or 3 records. And but I think it's just getting a chance to do something different every record and just to grow. And really, we don't know how to do anything else. I mean, we do know how to do other things, but I think it's just such a force of habit.
And you've been doing it for so long,
and it's actually happened and gotten good. You know, it's kind of the old adage. You know, be careful what you wish for, kid. You know, anytime you get tired or second guess it, you're like, wait a minute, this is what I always dreamed about and wanted to do. So it's good.
Yeah, I just got to be fun. I don't know anything about it. I apologize profusely, fellas. We can fix this.
Quite all right. So you mentioned the new record there. Can you tell us about that? Maybe does it have a name? Does it have a release date? Anything like that?
It's looking like late September, early October.
Yeah.
We're working with the title of the warehouse address, 1372 Overton Park, because that's really what allowed us to tour as much as we did for so long. Is that it was like $500 a month rent. We all lived in the same place. You know, basically
$500 a month rent with like 6 people living there.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So basically,
in pretty crappy places, like we might as well be on tour instead of just sitting around here.
But it just made it to where our overhead was maybe less than $1,000 a month. You know, so it was like we could go out for 6 weeks, make $250 a night. Everything gets paid for, and still get $100. And
yeah.
But it's kind of everybody's moved out. Ben's the last one, he's about to move out. And we've been writing these new kind of songs, and they're a little different, you know. We were like, I don't know. It's exciting, but it's scary exciting at the same time. And I had a friend of mine listen to some of the demos, and he goes like, this sounds like the old Stax High Records kind of stuff. And we were like, and I started thinking about it, was like, if you put horns on our slow songs, they sound like Dark Into the Streets and stuff like that. And everybody got behind it to where we wanted to make our version of a Memphis soul record. And with the horns, and it came out pretty badass.
Cohesive statement of where we're literally coming from.
And the title reflects that we're from it. Like it's because also that warehouse space we lived at, besides being Elvis's karate dojo, was in the basement for years. You'd hear stories about like Jim Dickinson then would go get Furry Lewis from work and give him a bottle of whiskey, and he'd just sit downstairs in the basement and play. You know, so the whole building itself has this amazing history of Memphis music.
My friend who works there found a bag of weed from a million years ago. It was like, you could tell it was really old.
So for us,
belonged to Jim Dickinson.
I think as much as we leave town, like we've been all over the world, we tour all the time, but we're still, you know, hello, we're Lucero from Memphis, Tennessee. So it's like, no matter what we do, we still, you know, we're going to show home the proper respect and how much we love it. So it all kind of ties in.
Yeah, so that's good.